Hello, my wonderful friend, and welcome. Before we do anything else today, I want to ask you something very honest, very personal. Have you ever picked up your phone just to check one small thing and then looked up and realized that 45 minutes had completely disappeared? Like you sat down, you told yourself, just one quick video or just one scroll through my feed, and then suddenly the light in the room has changed, your tea has gone cold, and you have no idea where the time went. If that has ever happened to you, then today's conversation is going to feel very close to your heart. Because today, we are not just practicing English, we are talking about something that truly matters. We are talking about how we spend our one precious, unrepeatable life.
Oh, wow. Anna, you just described my entire Tuesday evening last week, and honestly, probably my Wednesday morning, too. I am Abel, and the voice you just heard belongs to the incredible Anna, and together we warmly welcome you to the English Journey, your favorite place to slow down, listen to real, natural English, and grow a little every single day. And if you are nodding right now because Anna's question hit very close to home, please keep listening, because this episode might genuinely change something for you. It changed something for me just preparing for it.
I am so glad you are here, truly. And Abel, before we dive into the lesson, I just want to say this to our listener. The fact that you pressed play on this episode today, instead of spending this time on something that gives you nothing back, that is already a small act of courage. That is already you choosing yourself. And we are going to honor that choice by giving you the most rich, practical, and encouraging conversation we possibly can. So let us begin. Today, I want to share a framework with you. I call it the three-zone time framework, and it is a beautiful way to think about your daily life, your daily choices, and the language you can use to talk about them confidently in English.
I love this framework so much. Anna, please explain it, because when you first described it to me before we started recording, I genuinely felt something shift in my mind, like it gave me a new way to see my days.
That makes me so happy to hear. Okay, so here's the idea. I want you to imagine that every single morning when you wake up, a kind and generous bank deposits exactly 1,440 minutes into your personal account. That's how many minutes are in one day, 1,440. And here's the rule of this bank. It's a very strict rule. At midnight, whatever minutes you did not use with intention, whatever time you did not spend meaningfully, it's gone forever. It doesn't roll over, it doesn't save. The bank clears the account and starts fresh tomorrow. So the question, the really important question, is not, do I have time? The question is, am I spending this incredibly valuable deposit wisely?
That image is so powerful and honestly a little uncomfortable, right? Because when I think about it like that, like real money that disappears at midnight, I start to think about all the minutes I've been letting just drain away. Anna, what is the first zone in your framework?
The first zone is what I call the drift, and the drift is the zone most of us live in without even realizing it. The drift is when we are moving through our day without any real direction. We are reacting to everything around us instead of choosing our path. And the interesting thing about the drift is that it doesn't feel bad in the moment. It actually feels quite comfortable. Scrolling feels relaxing. Watching one more episode feels like a reward. Saying, I will start tomorrow, feels completely reasonable. But then the week ends and you look back and you feel this quiet, uncomfortable feeling that you can't quite name. Like time passed through your hands like water and you have nothing to show for it.
I know that feeling so well, and I want to share something very honest with our listeners right now because I think it will help. A few weeks ago, I went into the settings on my phone, where it shows you your screen time for the week, how many hours you spent on each app. I'd never really looked at it seriously before, and when I saw the number, I genuinely sat back in my chair and just stared at the ceiling for a moment. I had spent an average of 4 hours and 20 minutes every single day on my phone, not working, not learning, just drifting. Social media, short videos, reading comment sections on things that didn't matter to me at all. And I thought, 4 hours and 20 minutes every single day. That's 30 hours a week. 30 hours! I could have learned a language. I could have read 12 books. I could have built something. And I just felt this deep, honest sadness about it, because I genuinely want to grow. I genuinely want to learn. And I had been giving my best hours to my phone without even making the decision to do it.
Abel, thank you for sharing that so openly. And listener, I promise you, Abel is not the only one. This is one of the most common human experiences of our generation, and the language we use to describe this zone, the drift, is very important. One of the most useful phrases I want you to learn today is this one. Listen carefully. I often fall into the trap of. Say that with me in your mind. I often fall into the trap of. A trap is something that catches you without you realizing it, and we all have our traps. Maybe your trap is checking your phone first thing in the morning before you've even gotten out of bed. Maybe your trap is saying, just 5 more minutes when you know you should start working. Maybe your trap is watching videos late at night when your body is telling you it needs to sleep. The phrase, I often fall into the trap of, lets you identify that pattern with honesty and without judgment.
And that phrase is so useful in conversation. I want to practice it with our listener right now, because saying it out loud is how you truly own it. Anna, say it slowly, one more time, please.
Of course, I often fall into the trap of. Nice and slow. Feel every word.
Beautiful. Now, listener, this is your moment. Take a comfortable breath, relax your shoulders, and repeat this phrase out loud with me right now. I often fall into the trap of. Say it like you mean it. Say it with confidence. I often fall into the trap of. Wonderful. Now can you finish the sentence? What is your personal trap? Maybe you say, I often fall into the trap of scrolling my phone when I should be sleeping. Or, I often fall into the trap of saying, I'll start tomorrow. Whatever yours is, say it out loud. This is how real learning happens. This is how English becomes yours.
I love that so much. And another phrase for Zone 1, for the drift, is this one. My biggest distraction is. This is a beautifully honest and self-aware phrase. A distraction is anything that pulls your focus away from what truly matters, and naming your distraction out loud in English gives you a little bit of power over it, because once you can name something clearly, you can begin to make a different choice about it. My biggest distraction is my phone in the morning. My biggest distraction is watching things I'm not even really interested in just because I'm bored. Say it, name it, know it.
Okay, so we've identified the drift, which is Zone 1. I'm already feeling motivated. What is Zone 2, Anna? Because I'm ready to move out of the drift.
Zone 2 is one of my absolute favorites to talk about. Zone 2 is what I call the spark, and the spark is about intentional daily action. It's about taking those small, ordinary moments in your regular, normal day and turning them into meaningful progress. And here's what I love about the spark. It doesn't ask you to completely change your life overnight. It doesn't say, wake up at 5 in the morning, do 2 hours of exercise, write a book, and meditate for 30 minutes before breakfast. That's overwhelming. The spark says, what is one small, real, meaningful thing you can do today with the time you actually have?
So it's not about perfection, it's about direction.
Exactly. It's about direction. And the language of Zone 2, the language of the spark, is the language of gentle, purposeful commitment. The first phrase I want you to learn for this zone is this one. Right now, I'm trying to dedicate more energy to. This phrase is powerful because it's present tense. It's happening now. It's not someday I want to or maybe one day I will. It's right now, in this season of my life, this is where I'm choosing to put my energy. Dedicated energy is focused energy. It's the opposite of drifting.
Can I use a personal example here because I think it will make this feel very real?
Please, yes, go ahead.
So after I saw my screen time numbers and felt that honest sadness I described earlier, I made one small but meaningful decision. I decided that every morning, before I pick up my phone, I'm going to spend 20 minutes doing something intentional. For me right now, that's listening to an English podcast. Sometimes it's this one, sometimes it's another one. But the point is, I told myself clearly, right now, I'm trying to dedicate more energy to my English learning, and I'm going to protect that time in the morning before anything else takes it. And do you know what? That 20 minutes every morning has started to change how I feel about my whole day because I begin the day having already done something that matters to me, and that feeling carries into everything else.
That is a perfect example of zone 2 in action. And the second phrase for this zone is equally beautiful. It is, I want to be highly intentional about. Intentional means that you made a conscious, deliberate choice. You did not stumble into something, you chose it. I want to be highly intentional about how I spend my evenings. I want to be highly intentional about who I spend my time with. I want to be highly intentional about what I listen to, what I read, what I allow into my mind. When you are intentional, you are in the spark. You are not drifting, you are steering.
I want to be highly intentional about. Listener, let us practice this one together right now, because this phrase is going to be very useful for you in real conversations about your goals and your life. Take a breath and repeat after me, slowly and clearly. I want to be highly intentional about. One more time. I want to be highly intentional about. Fantastic. Now finish that sentence. What do you want to be intentional about this week? Say it out loud. Make it real. The English language is yours to use.
Now, are you ready for zone 3? Because this is where it gets very deep and very meaningful. Zone 3 is what I call the legacy. And the legacy is your long-term vision. It is the big picture. It is the question, when I am old and I look back at this season of my life, what do I want to feel? And I think this zone is the most important of all, because when your legacy vision is clear, when you know what you are building toward, it becomes so much easier to make good decisions in zone 1 and zone 2. Your legacy becomes your compass.
I find this zone the most emotional, honestly, because it asks you to think not just about next week, but about the whole arc of your life. And that can feel big, but the phrases Anna teaches make it feel very approachable.
They do, and that is the intention. The first phrase for zone 3 is, my primary focus in life is to build. Not to have, not to buy, to build. Building implies effort, time, patience, and love. My primary focus in life is to build a family that feels safe and warm. My primary focus in life is to build a skill that helps other people. My primary focus in life is to build a version of myself that I am genuinely proud of. The word build carries so much dignity and intention. I love it deeply.
And the second phrase?
The second phrase for the legacy zone is this one, and please listen carefully because it is very moving. I want to look back and feel proud that I want to look back and feel proud that I never stopped learning. I want to look back and feel proud that I chose my family over my phone. I want to look back and feel proud that I was brave enough to begin. This phrase invites you to live today as if your future self is watching, and your future self is cheering for you. Your future self is grateful for every good choice you make right now.
That phrase almost made me emotional when Anna first said it to me. Listener, let us say it together one time, slowly, with real feeling. I want to look back and feel proud that I. Say it like you mean it. I want to look back and feel proud that I. Hold that feeling. That feeling is your compass. Let it guide your choices today.
Beautiful. So we have our 3-zone time framework. Zone 1, the drift, where we identify our time wasters. Zone 2, the spark, where we take intentional daily action. And Zone 3, the legacy, where we connect our daily choices to our deepest, most meaningful long-term vision. And now, my wonderful friend, we are going to move into the part of the episode that so many of our listeners tell us is their absolute favorite. It is time for our dedicated word tour.
Yes, the word tour. This is the part where we slow everything down and go through the most important vocabulary from today's conversation. We want to make sure these words and phrases are truly yours before you close this episode. Anna will explain each word simply and clearly. I'll give you a warm, everyday example, and then we'll invite you to say it out loud one final time to lock it into your memory. Are you ready? Let's go.
Our first word is intentional. Intentional means doing something with a clear and deliberate purpose. When you are intentional, you make a conscious, deliberate choice. You do not just let life happen to you, you decide. For example, I am now intentional about my morning routine. I choose what I do first, and I protect that time. Say it with us now. Intentional. One more time. Intentional. Beautiful.
Our second phrase is fall into the trap of. This means to be caught by a habit or behavior that is difficult to recognize or escape. It often happens gradually without you noticing. For example, I used to fall into the trap of checking my messages every 5 minutes when I was trying to study. It broke my focus completely. Say it aloud. Fall into the trap of. Again, fall into the trap of. Wonderful.
Our third word is distraction. A distraction is anything that takes your attention away from what you actually want or need to be doing. Distractions can be external, like noise or notifications, or internal, like worry or daydreaming. For example, my biggest distraction used to be the notification sounds on my phone. I turned them off and my focus improved immediately. Your turn. Distraction. One more time. Distraction. Excellent.
Our fourth word is dedicated. When you are dedicated to something, you give it consistent time, energy, and commitment. A dedicated person does not give up when things are difficult. They keep showing up. For example, Anna is one of the most dedicated teachers I know. She prepares carefully for every episode because she genuinely cares about your learning. Say the word, dedicated. One more time, dedicated. You are doing wonderfully today.
Our fifth word is fulfill. To fulfill something means to complete it in a satisfying way or to reach your potential in a meaningful area of life. A fulfilled life is not a perfect life. It's a life where you feel that you are doing what you are meant to do. A fulfilled life is not a perfect life. It's a life where you feel that you are doing what you are meant to do. Say it with us. Fulfill. One more time. Fulfill. Keep going. You are almost halfway through the word tour.
Our sixth word is evaluate. To evaluate means to examine something carefully and make a judgment about its value or quality. When we evaluate our time, we look honestly at how we are spending it and decide if those choices are serving us. For example, every Sunday evening, I try to evaluate my week. I ask myself, did I spend my time on things that matter to me? Say the word. Evaluate. Again, evaluate. Fantastic.
Our seventh word is priority. A priority is the thing you choose to put first. When something is your priority, you give it your best time and your best energy. The things that are truly important to you should be your highest priorities. For example, learning English is clearly a priority for you because you are here right now choosing to spend your time on this podcast. That says everything about who you are. Say it. Priority. One more time. Priority. I love how you are practicing today.
Our eighth phrase is build momentum. Momentum is the energy and force that grows when you take consistent action over time. When you build momentum, small daily actions start to create visible and exciting results that push you forward even more. For example, when I first started dedicating 20 minutes every morning to English, it felt small, but after 3 weeks, I could feel the momentum building. My listening was faster, my vocabulary was growing, and I was excited to continue. Say the phrase, build momentum. One more time, build momentum. You are building your own momentum right now.
Our ninth phrase is life purpose. Your life purpose is the deep reason you feel you are here. It is the contribution you want to make, the person you want to become, the mark you want to leave on the world. Some people find their life purpose early. For others, it takes time and honest exploration. Both are completely valid.
For example, I believe my life purpose is to help people feel less alone in their learning journey. When I speak to our listeners, I want them to feel like they have a friend who genuinely believes in them. Say it. Life purpose. One more time. life, purpose. Carry those words with you.
And our 10th and final phrase for today's word tour is value your time. To value your time means to treat your minutes and your hours as the precious, irreplaceable gift that they truly are. When you value your time, you become more careful about what you say yes to, and you feel much more peace at the end of each day.
For example, I am learning to value my time by asking one simple question before I pick up my phone. I ask, will I feel glad I did this in 1 hour? If the answer is no, I try to choose something else. Say the phrase one final time with all the confidence you have built today. Value your time. One more time. Value your time. And truly, deeply mean it.
What a journey today has been. I am sitting here feeling genuinely proud of every single person who listened to this conversation all the way to the end. You chose this today. You chose growth. You chose learning. You chose yourself. And I want you to understand something important. That choice, the choice to press play on something that feeds your mind and your heart, that was already you living in zone 2. That was already the spark. That was already you being intentional. And you should feel proud of that.
Anna said it perfectly. And listener, before we say goodbye, I have one question for you, and I want you to answer it in the comments below this video, because I read every single one, and I always respond. Here is your challenge for today. Tell us in the comments, what is one small distraction you want to cut out of your life this week to value your time better? And please, try to use at least one phrase from today's lesson in your answer. Maybe you write, I often fall into the trap of checking my phone late at night. In this week, I want to be highly intentional about putting it away 1 hour before I sleep. Something like that. Something honest. Something real. Your comment might inspire someone else who is reading, and that, my friend, is how a community builds momentum together.
I could not love that more. Thank you from the very bottom of my heart for spending part of your precious daily deposit of time with us today. You are not wasting your life. You are investing in it. And that is a beautiful, powerful, and deeply courageous thing. Come back soon because we will be right here waiting for you with more slow, warm, meaningful English.
Take good care of yourself today. Be kind to yourself when you drift, and be proud of yourself every time you spark. We believe in you completely. This is Abel.
And this is Anna from the English Journey, wishing you the most peaceful, purposeful, and intentional day ahead. We will see you very soon.